hear those jackals howling.
Yeah, they're enjoying the peace and quiet. There's no tourists here. There's roads are quiet and aircraft are absent now for 2 or 3 months since the virus broke out and lockdown started rolling around the world. So yeah, it's a wonderful time for nature. It's a privilege. Really good to be out here with you, Franco. Thanks for visiting. We missed the company. So it's obviously deeply problematic from an economical point of view because we've got to pay for nature, and you guys are the connection between the potential for these types of game reserves to succeed or fail. So yeah, it's good to have you out here and having the opportunity to chat and meet with some folks who are helping with the promotion of these wonderful areas and experiences that we have on offer. So yeah, let's I think we should hope for the best but also plan for the worst. It's every day there's news of sometimes it's a bit more positive, sometimes it's a little bit negative, but we're learning, and hopefully in these coming days and weeks scientists around the world and solutions to possibly cures to coronavirus, COVID-19, even a vaccine. That's clearly the holy grail that can rescue this situation.
It's just how to get the message out there to everybody. These times are tough. At a level where we're sitting here, everybody's on lockdown. What we're trying to achieve is to try and get the message out there and let everybody know that conservation is not sleeping, conservation is not on lockdown. We're trying to get it going and still make sure that when everybody comes back, that they're coming back to still come back to those pristine areas, and these areas would have had some great time to recuperate, and also it's a win-win situation that the air is cleaner for some time now, and animals have got a bit of peace and quiet too.
True.
But again, we need that. I mean, to put it on a financial term, we need that assistance and that the travel of people to come and visit for that to be sustainable.
Yeah.
And in that sense, these areas will thrive. So I think everybody out there, if times get better, we start having some tourists again.
Absolutely. Spot on, Franco. That's the success of the Namibia conservation story, and probably the most extraordinary turnaround and comeback of nature in modern times worldwide. And it has been funded by your guests that we've hosted. Their financial contribution has resulted in a conservation economy, and that's paying for vast areas, and extraordinary estate across the country from boundary to boundary, where landowners, communities, government, other NGOs, private sector partners have had the wherewithal on account of that income to invest in sustainable utilization of natural resources. And that's the driver. That is incredibly vital. And in the absence of that, is it going to roll back? What can we do to reduce the injury? Will these lands be lost to the plow and the cow in the absence, or will there be deforestation to try and monetize forests, and even worse, to open cast mining for the rich minerals that the world seeks for cell phones and other devices? We in a critical balance that can swing badly if this economic situation doesn't stabilize. So the opportunity to communicate this, I think, is we've got to folks have got to understand that there's a lot, not just in Namibia, worldwide. Nature-based travel is flame out. The engine's dead. Understandably, it's a terrible, terrible pandemic. Hopefully, we can learn to live with it and to travel with it. That we can get some income. Obviously, local market is on everybody's mind at the moment as lockdown eases in the country. But wow, Namibia's economy has been faltering for some years. We don't have incredibly high expectations of that. 10, 15 years ago, we ran specials for Namibians, and it was great. But I tell you what, it doesn't pay the bills. Yeah. This land, the conservation, the anti-poaching units, the commitment, the daily upkeep and protection, it's extraordinarily expensive. So yeah, we desperately need international support. That's from the region, from the globe, from the key source markets. Yeah, so what we need to do next, I guess, is pay attention to what is going to be safe operations. Yeah. And as a united industry in Namibia, the safari and tour and travel industry, to develop systems that are confidence inspiring, so that guests feel comfortable that they can travel here in reasonable safety without high risk. But it's going to test us. The rural people, they've lost income, they've lost revenue, they've lost jobs and mass retrenchment, and there's going to be a great hunger stalking the land. Food security will be tested. We've emerged from several years of drought. So, wow, we're in for some character building times. Clearly, if we can get some hard currency, some travel, international travel, and I think the international airline industry are likely to be the leaders. We're going to depend on them figuring out how to travel safely, how to get folks to be confident that they can travel long haul, not be turned back at the airport on arrival, or to have a system that will accommodate them if they are compromised. So yeah, we've got to get creative and work together as a team, as an industry, and in every respect. We've always had a great Namibian spirit, team spirit, and but this time we need to get a layer of innovation and figure out how to develop and run operations nationally and right here on the property. So we're working throughout the country with hundreds of lodge owners and hoteliers to develop a standard and a protocol that can provide confident and safe operations. So here at Ongava, we shut down pretty quickly for good reason. Even before the national lockdown, we made a firm decision that we were going to close the property for a fixed period in order to protect the staff and the anti-poaching unit, who we cannot afford to get sick. So Ongava went into self-imposed lockdown, and we chose to do 90 days to allow the first wave of the virus to pass. And to this point, we've succeeded. As you know, Namibia has succeeded incredibly with very low, at this point in time, a very low infection and no deaths. And Ongava, we've been spared. But what remains is how those guests are going to reach us. That's right. And we're at the mercy of global forces and and authorities around the world, whether they're prepared to open up. We're missing the tourists out here because not just the money, but the company. It's lonely being in lockdown, man. Hey, it's fun having you guys around and not having to do a Zoom meeting, and we're social animals. We arguably evolved in the African savannah, learned to walk upright out here in the grasslands, and we paid attention when there were carnivores around. We were on the menu. Absolutely. Hey? Yeah, you've had a few close calls, and you've got to pay attention when you're on the menu. That's how we operate. We've been around for 30 years offering open vehicle safaris and guided walks, and good operations and good standards and good training.
Well, Rob, thanks for joining us, and thank you for that insightful information about the tough times we're facing and the way forward.
Yeah, thank you, Franco. It's a testing time. Let's be smart and work together and cooperate, and to our roots, we're a social species. We need each other.
This is a fine evening sitting underneath the Namibian sky, looking at all the beautiful stars and enjoying the warmth of this beautiful fire. And we're just reminiscing about the 10 days that we had here at the Ongava Game Reserve. Just looking back at the beautiful moments, amazing and unique experiences that we had on this game reserve. It was awesome. Can't believe that it's already day 10. We're leaving tomorrow.
So Franco, can you tell me what was your highlight of this day?
Wow, my highlight was really sitting on one of the plains out with the white rhinos, and as we followed them to the water hole, it was just amazing seeing the three of them drinking, and it just makes you think about a species that if not looked after, it might disappear. And having that opportunity also to be out there with you, and just trying to solve the world's problems of how we can better conserve and protect these animals. That was just one of, or actually my highlight that I had out there.
Has the week given you insights into sort of the conservation that Ongava is sort of doing behind the scenes? Has it given you some insights into stuff that you maybe didn't know was happening?
Absolutely. I think it's really been an amazing experience to go out, for example, with the anti-poaching units, and to also have found out that they had a canine unit that I didn't know about, and the dogs, of course, they're amazing. These animals have so many senses that we're not in tune with, and again, the connection of the dogs with their handlers, and it was incredible, and that's something that I will take with me, and it's something that you won't forget. It was an amazing experience and unique as well.
I just wanted to ask Mike, because Mike was actually about to go and leave just before you guys arrived, and he decided to stay so he could engage with you and be part of this whole project. So Mike, did you find the last sort of 10 days, was it beneficial? Did you learn a lot? Did you have a good time?
Yeah, I actually feel privileged to be involved in the whole project, and as you know, it has been a long time since I guided. At least I had the opportunity to put my skills into practice, as I had to help track down rhino, lion, and so on. Not only that, but also just to get involved into how important it is to actually keep our environment or our nature, to keep it going. And I think I really feel honored to be involved in the whole project. And not only that, but you see, it's like for a guide like me or any guide, every day is different. So whenever I went out with the guys, I actually observed a lot of things: animal behavior, tracking skills, and what was mostly important for me was the camera. These guys are professional. I think they showed me they are very, very professional and very serious. And I was lucky enough to actually get some advice from them also. So my photographic skills are also upgraded now, thanks to you guys.
And of course, you mentioned that it was your first time on camera.
On camera, yeah, it's
You
yeah,
also-
like
you were
the
natural.
the first interview. I remember when I had it in front of the watering hole. I was talking to the camera and I was like, you know, we as guides, we always feel like if you talk to the guest, you get all these different types of reactions. And I'm like there seated talking to this solid thing, and I'm expecting for a reaction, you know, questions, you know, and then you talk, and then the camera is just looking at you, keep on going, and then you don't know what to talk anymore. And it's like, but it's another experience, I think, that was needed, and I picked up on it, got better at it, and so on. So yeah,
That's awesome.
I think it was needed in my profession also. You know, it's not only talking to guests. Sometimes you need to have that selfie and talk to yourself or talk to the phone. But yeah, it's something that I never experienced, but at least I worked on it, getting better, I think. What do you think?
No, I think you did very well.
Okay.
You were natural, man.
For me, to be honest with you, I feel privileged to be involved in the whole project, and thanks to you guys. And I don't regret staying too.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
I'm glad.
Yeah.
I think your brother may be envious and maybe slightly jealous.
Yeah, I think he's actually right. He's at the back.
I believe he's here, yeah. So he should have stayed as well.
Yeah.
I think it's Franco. Just from Ongava's side, I think I'd obviously like to thank Ultimate Safaris for initiating this project with the partners. I think it's been a very successful 10 days, and I think what it's, at least from my side, I'm hoping it highlights is the efforts that are put into to conserving wildlife in Namibia, and the sort of importance of that in our future, and the integration of conservation with research and tourism, and the importance of all of those. It's almost like like a poiki pot, you've got conservation, tourism, security, research. There's feet holding this pot up, and each one of those is integrated into this model. And at the moment we're missing this tourism element because of the pandemic, but the other legs still have to function even without that tourism element or that hospitality element. So I think, and I'm hoping that these productions that you guys have put such a lot of effort into, and we've put effort into, will bring home to people who are watching them the importance of conservation in Namibia, and what's still happening on the ground here, and that we need to maintain that and to continue funding that and making sure that we protect these. There's an elephant at the waterhole, protecting animals like that.
Oh yeah.
For future generations and for Namibia.
Absolutely.
So thank you.
Absolutely, that's fantastic, man. And also thank you for hosting us and allowing us to be here, to to take all the footage, and of course, it's again in tough times like these, like you said, it's the ball of conservation has to keep on rolling to ensure that all these species are taken care of, and of course it links into to all integral, whether it be the local communities and the animals and whoever has stakeholding, that all makes a huge difference. So again, thank you for having us here, and it's been awesome. It's been really great.
I think I speak for Mike and all of the team. It's our pleasure, and we hopefully see you later in the year again.
Absolutely, that's fantastic.
Just one last advice.
Yeah.
To the whole team. Please don't send 3 guides to go take some footage. So they will spend 20 minutes just IDing something.
That's what we do.
We spend almost 30 minutes IDing a snake, wasting time. It was me, Tim, and Franco.
Oh, awesome, man. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, it
Too many
brings us
chiefs.
back to our grassroots. Huh? Yes. So thank you, everybody, for joining us on the Ongava Game Reserve. And please do join us next time for our episodes where we'll be exploring some more areas around Namibia. Take care.